Okay, so let's talk about the overall atmosphere first. So this is the last movement of the sextet, right? It says poco allegretto e grazioso, so you have to first know what this means. Okay, if you don't know it, look it up. Make sure you know what the composer is telling us. Okay. Now, I don't think this movement is fast or slow. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not really fast, and it's got this sort of relaxed sort of feel to this. It's not an aggressive, go get 'em sort of last movement. It's got this really sort of laid back feel to this. Okay, that's just my personal interpretation of this movement. But yeah, you can think about that. What kind of atmosphere you want to create. Okay. And okay, so we start playing this forte phrase, right? Now, before we play this forte phrase, in actual sextet, we have already played the same theme in piano. We play this. We play this in piano already. Now, this time, this is the one we play, but this one we play in forte. So when you're actually playing this, you want to make a big difference between the piano entrance and the forte entrance. You want to make sure this one is a forte. Okay. Yeah, should be a nice, warm, round sort of forte. Again, it's not a aggressive forte. Yeah, it's a very warm sort of forte. Now, this first pickup, that's important. You want to make sure that's very expressive. Okay, don't just play the F, but it's a nice expressive F pickup. Oh, goes to the downbeat. Okay, so right away you are singing. Okay, that's important. Okay, and then so now these are on the brighter side right here. Okay, and then now we go to these A and B. Now, these should be a little different, I think, compared to the first few notes you're playing. See, the first few notes you're playing, these are more like a soprano sort of, right? Now, this I think more as like an alto or something. So there should be a difference in tone colors here. And you can just think about how you can change the color like that, Okay, and then the next here, we have a trill. Now this trill, don't play as fast as you can. We don't care about how fast you can play the trills. We care how musically you can play these trills, okay? So you think about this, see, if you're just playing the simple main notes, right? Now he puts trills and all that to make it a little more fancy with this, okay? So you just think about what you can do with these main notes to make it even more musical, So that's the type of trill you want to do, okay? Right, okay, next, so we have this, keeps going, right? Now this I think as one steady line going up all the way to the top of this phrase, which is an A, okay? So I don't go up and down, I'm just thinking one line going all the way, okay? So to do that, I make sure the bow is steady, the speed and then the weight is rather steady. I mean, you have to do a crescendo, but right? Now this should be a little bit more, even more, right? Okay. Another thing I think about here is the vibrato. Just like the bow, I try to keep the vibrato as steadily as I can play it. And I try to continuously vibrate from one note to the next note. So my teacher used to say all the time, vibrate in between notes. And I think that's important here. You don't want to stop the vibrato here, unless that's what you are going after. Now we're playing more like blah, blah, blah. If that's what you want to do, great. But unless that's what you want to do, try to keep the vibrato as steady as you can. Okay, so once you start vibrating, you keep vibrating, okay? Okay, now I want you to look at this sequence here. So we have this first sequence. Here's the second sequence. Okay, so if we keep going with this, we should go, right? But we don't do that. So we have the first time, second time. Now the third time is different. So instead of going down, we keep going up. And that's what's different, that's what's unexpected, right? And that's where the expression should be, okay? So think about this growing from the first time to the second time to the third time, especially here, okay? And all the way to the A, okay? And then we end this phrase in piano. Okay, the next phrase, now this one too, see, the main note should be just this. And when you play in that way, you want to play on the first beat more, less on the second beat. Like ta, ya, ta, ra. Okay, so put expression on the E flat, not so much on the F. Come back on the F, okay? And then, here's another thing, the rhythm. This is very important. Don't go. It's. Okay, make sure that's accurate, okay? Throughout this whole excerpt. Okay, another thing you want to think about here is that you are accompanying a viola part, the first viola part, which is the main melody here, okay? So you want to make sure you can hear the viola part as you play your part. And you're accompanying the main melody here, okay? So you have to know what's going on around you. You can't just play your part and call it done, okay? If you really want to play this well, you have to understand everyone else's part as well. Okay, you have to listen to some of the good recordings, study the score, listen to good recordings with the score. That always really helps, okay? Yeah, so think about how you should accompany the melody here, okay? Okay, next line. This one, these staccatos are supposed to be kind of long. Don't go too short, okay? It's not, it's more like a, now you can play 3 notes in one bow, or you can go, you can break them all, it doesn't matter, okay? As long as they are singing staccato, okay? Just because this is a staccato doesn't mean you have to play really short. I think this more like a, I don't know, connected sort of staccato, okay? Okay, and then after we reach the top note, yeah, notes are a little tricky here to make sure you have good fingerings and good intonation with this, okay? And then we have, now, that's the main melody. That's accompaniment, okay? So you want to make sure these changing notes are coming out more than the C's, okay? Same thing. You want to make sure those are coming out. So don't play them all the same. See, put more expression on the changing notes. Okay? And then, so up to this point, everyone's doing individual things. And then here, this is when all the violins and all the violas get together and play together. The cellos do something different, right? And they come in on the next bar. They play that next bar. But the first 4 parts play this together. So we have to have this sense of unification right here. Okay, so we're doing everything different individually, and then all of a sudden we get together here. So again, when you're playing your part, you have to listen to other parts in your head and kind of pretend you're playing with others, and yeah, have this sense of getting all together on this okay. And then after this we go down, and then we go up. And of course that's the beginning of the new phrase. Here the pickup goes to the next phrase. Okay, now this one, if you really want to feel this right, again, you want to think about other parts, specifically in this case, a second violin part. Because while you're going up here, second violin keeps going down, so they go. Okay, so that's the more natural line, I think. They go. So now you think about how that line should end, and then that's how you're gonna play your line going up while the second violin goes down. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so you sing that line going down in your head while you play. Then I think you have a really natural last three notes pickup note into the next phrase. That makes good musical sense, you know. Okay, and then again we have the sequence here. That's the first sequence. Same thing. The third time again is different. Right? Yeah, so again you want to go from one to the second one to the third one. Okay, make him grow, okay? And I think this first three notes should grow right to the last third one. Same thing. And then put an expression on the eighth note. It's easy to play this expressively, and it's easy to play the C expressively, but make sure this B is just as expressive as the other notes, okay? And this B flat is an important bridge between the A and C, okay? So you don't want to collapse here. You want to keep going up using this B flat, okay? Same thing with the rhythm here. Make sure that rhythm is correct, okay? And I use a little bit faster bow in the beginning of these dotted notes, and kind of let go afterwards. So I don't make it steady. So I have a little sort of, I don't know, fluffy, lifting sort of quality to the dotted eighth note. Okay? Yeah. So you can keep going that way. Same thing here. Right? I'm at the next line. These are the important notes. G's are the accompaniment. Okay, so again, you play the changing notes more and the accompaniment notes a little bit less, okay? Same thing, and then, yeah. Same thing, right? You bring out the changing notes. And then we have the same thing again. Again, all the violin parts and the viola parts get together on those notes. Sequence again. First time. Second time. Third time. Yeah, so again, think about 1 to the 2, 2 to the 3, okay? I would just try to make that grow each time a little bit more, okay? And then make the third time even more special than the other times, okay? Alright, and then that's all piano here. And that's the end of the phrase. Now, this end of the phrase, while you're ending going down, the cello, the first cello, they have this, you know, what we had before. They have that, okay? So now this time when you're playing your part, you think about the cello part in your head. Pretend you're playing with the cello part, you know. And again, if you think that way, this last end of the phrase will be more musical, okay? And then now you're just accompanying the cello here. Very quiet, calm, nothing too much going on here, okay? You're not the main person here, you're supporting the main melody, okay? And again, we have the sequence here. First time, second time, and that's the third time, yeah? Okay, so I would just make them grow each time a little bit. First to the second, second to the third, no. And then the last two bars. Again, right? Those are the important notes, and the C's are accompaniment. So make sure the moving notes are coming out more. Just put more expression on the moving notes, not so much on the C's, okay? And then now we are done here, but the music keeps going. And you have to know what's coming after this, okay? It's the cellos, I believe. They play, right? They do that, so you're done, but they continue. So you have to kind of think about the cello part playing after you're done, right? Because that's going to determine how you're going to end this excerpt, okay? So that's, again, another important thing you have to think about. Okay, so those are a few tips that I would give you to play even better. Okay, I hope this helps.